Hello everyone, my name is Johnny Jones, and today I will be completing my CS499 capstone code review. As a little background, I chose to enhance my weight tracker app that I originally created in CS360 Mobile Architect and Programming course. The purpose of the original project was to help users keep track of their daily weight and monitor progress towards their health goals. This included a login screen, a main tracking screen that displayed weight entries, and SIMS notification screen for sending alerts. The app worked well functionally, but throughout my code review, I identified a few areas for improvement based on the CS499 code review checklist. Mainly this was around structure, efficiency, and the user experience. I will add that I could not locate the original project that I submitted, therefore I will be completing and adding enhancement to a backup that I located. For my enhancement plan, I decided to make 3 targeted updates that demonstrated skills in software engineering and design, algorithms and data structures, as well as database, while keeping the main scope manageable. These enhancements will include adding a dark mode toggle for accessibility and improved user experience, adding a weekly weight change badge to display the progress over time, and creating a simple note storage feature so users can record short comments for each of their entries if they choose to do so. I'll walk through my review one category at a time. Again, that's going to be software design and engineering, algorithm and data structures, and databases. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started here. As you can see on my screen, the first category for software engineering and design, I'll be reviewing the main activity file. This file is the entry point for my app, as it manages the navigation between screens using Jetpack Compose, and keeps track of whether the user is logged in or not. This screen will next switch to the weight tracking view to make sure that tracks the user's logs successfully. From a design perspective, looking at this particular code, it already follows a good modular structure and makes use of the composable functions. However, based on the code review checklist, there were a few things that stood out to me that I do want to improve on. So within the structure and logic, the code combines user interface and logic together, which can make long-term updates more difficult to complete. When it comes to certain documentation, I feel that the file could benefit from more clear, consistent commenting, just to explain the flow of the state changes, which I plan to include. Within the user experience, there was no real customizations or visual accessibility options for different lighting environments, which is why I'm going to go ahead and implement the dark mode as well. So again, to address these findings, I plan to add a dark mode toggle feature. This toggle will allow the user to then switch between light and dark themes within the app, so that the user can choose their preference when opening the app. This particular enhancement will align with the software engineering and design category because it demonstrates interface customization, theme management, and better accessibility. It will also make the interface more modern and user-friendly. When it comes to some of my design choices within this application here, I chose to go with the background image of a woman who appears to be taking a jog or working out, since it is a weight tracker application. So I just wanted something along the lines of health and wellness. I did include a logo that wasn't required. That was just the graphic designer in me. Just decided to give this application a name and choose a logo that I saw would fit. So I chose to name it Revolve 360 Weight Tracker. That kind of symbolizes doing a complete 360, whether your goal is to lose weight or gain weight, transform your lifestyle. I also created this circle just to reflect the 360. And I chose for the V within a revolve to be a different color, just so it can look like a dial, as if you're like scaling down, like scaling up or down. So I just chose that enhancement for this particular interface. Moving right along, I want to review the weight tracker data, which contains the main logic for tracking and displaying user weights. This file uses a mutable list to store entries, with each entry containing the date and weight value. This screen allows users to add new entries. They can view them in a grid layout and also delete entries if they are no longer needed. Well, the current design works. I did find some limitations within this as well. As mentioned, the data structure uses a mutable list with strings and values, which makes the numeric calculations more difficult. There was no real analytical feedback. The app only displays the data button. It doesn't really interpret it. And then there's currently minimal documentation, which may make it hard for others to quickly understand the code. So I definitely plan on going in and adding more to that. So to improve this, something I do want to implement is I will add a weekly weight change badge feature. This feature will calculate the difference between the most recent weight entry and the entry from 7 days prior. The algorithm will scan the list of weight entries, compare the days, and then compute the numerical difference. The goal for it is to display a small badge showing whether the user gained weight or lost weight for the week. This particular enhancement highlights my ability to apply data structure, logic, iterating over lists, performing conditional calculations, and presenting the results visually. It also enhances the user experience by giving immediate feedback on their progress. When it comes to the design of this screen, I kind of wanted to keep it similar to the green theme that I was using on a previous application screen. Also going along with the weight loss or weight gain, whether you're trying to lose weight or gain weight, just along the lines of eating healthy. So I incorporated scale, apple, and a tape measure. I'm not sure if I'm sold on the design of this screen. I kind of want something that's going to transition more smoothly. So you may see me make some changes to the images that I decided to use. Again, this is picking up from a previous assignment that I was working on. So I may decide to change it up a bit. If I don't decide, but once I continue working on it, I will kind of get in the creative flow of deciding if I want to keep with the same theme or not. Finally, the third file is the SIMS notification, which currently handles sending motivational messages using SIMS Manager. This screen requests the necessary permissions and allow the user to type in their phone number in a short message. From my review using the provided checklist, I noted that this file doesn't currently use any database or persistent storage, which means the user input will disappear once the app is closed. So that's something we want to fix. For my database enhancement, I also plan to introduce a simple note storage feature so users can write small notes tied to their daily entries. Rather than using a full room database setup, I plan to implement shared preferences to store the notes locally on the device. This solution fits the scale of the project and demonstrates my understanding of data persistence, and this will satisfy the database category on the rubric. By implementing the note storage, users will be able to leave a short reflection, such as, if they want to say, oh, I ate healthy this day, or I had a cheat meal this day, they will be able to do so, and they can save those notes directly within the application just to have something to pick up on. They don't have to do it separately outside of the app. This will be built directly into the application. So just to go ahead and summarize the overall weight tracker app from my previous course of CS360, it successfully met the functional goals, but it kind of lacked some user customizations, progress analysis, and persistent storage. So by completing this code review and following the outline and checklist that I was provided, I did identify some useful enhancements for each category. Just to recap, so for software design and engineering, I'll be adding a dark mode toggle to improve the accessibility and user interface. For the algorithms and data structures, I'm going to introduce a weekly rate change badge that will calculate the progress for the users. And for databases, I'm going to be implementing a note storage feature using shared preferences to persist the user's data locally. These three enhancements work together to strengthen the project's overall design and functionality while demonstrating multiple areas of computer science. And that's pretty much everything in a nutshell. Overall, completing this code review has given me a chance to critically analyze my earlier code and apply relevant things that I feel like will help improve the structure and documentation, and just create a plan for realistic improvements that's going to enhance both the performance and the user experience overall. I do want to thank you for watching my code review, and I look forward to coming back with updates soon.